The only one that felt a little dramatic was Serena P, because Serena P had her moment too to speak about leaving and the breakup and those decisions she made, and she definitely looked like she maybe regretted her decision, because I feel like when she talked to Chris Harrison and Chris Harrison was like, I really thought it was going to be you at the end. Like, you're like, in your mind, Serena's got to be like, oh shit, I could have made the wrong decision. Like, this could have been the guy. But she still maybe didn't feel it. I don't know. I think her mom and her sister really influenced her a lot.
Right. And somebody asked a good question in the comments of Cutting Stems last night, where it was, do you think Serena P's mom and sister had a heavy influence on her leaving? And if that hadn't happened, would she be one of the final three? And I think we all would agree that it's yes.
I think yes, yeah.
Like, she was very much into it until her sister was just said, I don't see it. You don't seem smitten. I don't see it at all. And then Serena P was like, oh, maybe this isn't right for me, and sent herself home. So,
yeah.
I don't know what's going on right now with Matt. I'm interested to watch the After the Final Rose to get the information on what's going on right now. Yep. But I'd say there's a 15% chance that Matt James and Serena P end up together at some point. I think.
Right.
I think there could be a down the road, I think they could reconnect.
Interesting. I agree.
I don't think it's a high chance.
I don't think it's crazy.
I agree with that.
I really don't think it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it could happen.
I think it's definitely possible. And then Heather, guys. Heather, if you didn't notice, if you weren't watching close enough, Heather was at the Women Tell All. She was seated next to Kit. They cut away from her every time the camera panned too far to the left. But when they had the overhead shots, you saw a woman with long blonde hair sitting there. And then there was one kind of shot that went like rapidly around the group, and it was like you could see Heather. It was clearly Heather. They didn't spend 1 minute talking about her. If they brought her there, and I wonder if they could have had a whole segment speaking about Heather showing up and how that went down, and they didn't feel like it was good enough to put in the show.
They had me second guessing my own eyes.
Yeah.
Because you spotted it early on, Fran. You're like, I think I just saw Heather.
For sure, Heather.
And then we had people sending us screenshots. But since they spent no time showing her, or they cut her entire segment, or whatever happened, they legitimately had me questioning my own brain and my own eyes. And I feel bad for Heather, honestly. Like, they bring her out there. Well, first of all, they tease her throughout the entire season to the point where everyone is like, let's just get this over with. And then she is there for 8 or 9 minutes, and she gets sent home. And then they bring her out. They fly her out. They invite her to the Women Tell All, and they don't talk about her. They don't use any of the things that they potentially talk to her about. It was just, I didn't think I would be on Heather's side at the end of all this, but I feel bad for Heather after all this. They put her through it.
Yeah, it was a really tough showing for Heather all around.
And not to her, like, it wasn't her doing.
It's not her doing. She probably was like, yeah, I'll go to the Women Tell All. Didn't show her. She's got to be done by now. And if she's not, then she really is looking for some Bachelor fame.
We were saying
she has to be. If you got done so dirty like this, you got to walk away. You just have to walk away from it.
We were saying that we hope that she got a segment and just blew the entire thing up and was like, you guys did this. You guys made people make fun of me on social media. I had nothing to do with this. You flew me out. You wanted me to be part of the story. And that, like, if that tape is out there somewhere, bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
If that tape is out there, I want to see it. We all want to see it.
Yeah, we do.
Because I hope that's what happened.
I'm with you.
Just slide it our way. We won't share it.
Yeah. And I said this on Cutting Stems. I'll say it again. The way that they showed some of these bloopers and the unseen footage is they could have cut a completely different show. Like, the way, like, the producers gave us one of the worst, like, drama-filled seasons as far as, like, actually believing in a love connection that could happen. And they just left so much on the cutting room floor that they could have put together a completely different show.
Give me those files.
Yeah.
Give me those files.
We want the Trent Ryan cut.
I want the cut. Season. Me and Kelly Keegs, we want to put our own cut together.
Yeah.
Because that's what's really interesting about this show is they start out with this huge, with all this footage, and then they get to whittle it down however they want, and they can make storylines however they want. I think it would be great if they let us have access to those files and they let us cut our own version just to see how many different ways you can cut that footage.
That would be a great editing exercise if it was like, make Victoria look like the good person all season. Yeah. Like, I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah.
Like, they would, I mean, they'll never do this.
It'd be great for, like, a film class somewhere. Like
Yeah,
if
exactly.
that's
Like in college, like-
a college film class,
And
like
just to
editing
see,
course.
even if you didn't give them instructions like that, you could just say, make your own season and see how many different ways it can
different
look.
seasons you could get out of it.
That
Yeah.
would be great.
Yeah, it would be very, very interesting because I think you could have tons of different versions of this season. They did, of course, end with bloopers, and we saw JoJo and Tayshia had like a whole date, had a whole time. Like I think it was JoJo. I think it was JoJo who posted on her story too. She was like, "We came, we went, we made the bloopers." Like
Unbelievable.
Just a whole part of the JoJo and Tayshia showing up. Didn't even get to see that.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that. And
I
it looked
would've
like
liked
they
to have
had
seen
a
it too.
funny interaction. They were eating something spicy.
Yeah, it was
JoJo
hilarious.
couldn't handle it. It's,
JoJo was like, "Tayshia, do not eat it."
right.
It was funny. It was very funny. But of course they closed on a Matt James boner situation. They were in the hot. Who was he in the hot tub with?
Serena.
Shit. Was it Serena?
Yep.
And Serena got out, and he was like, tried to get up and was like, I'm gonna need my robe. I'm gonna need my robe.
That's good boner awareness by Matt.
And the reality of the situation, Matt James is getting boners.
And you know
throughout
what?
the
I feel
entire
like we
season.
have talked about this fact so many times when it comes to this show, like that The Bachelor probably has had to hide this, hide a boner many times. And now I feel like The Bachelor, whoever cut the bloopers, has caught on to this conversation happening so much that they were like, oh, let's throw this in there because here it is. Prime example of Matt being like, I need a minute.
That felt like the most personality we got from Matt. Like
Yeah.
I would have liked more moments like that where he's like, I can't get out of this hot tub right now because I have a boner.
Yeah.
Everything else, the
Yeah.
rest of the season, everything else was him reacting to something, and his
Yeah.
reactions are a bit strange. So I would have liked to have seen more moments like that, and I bet there's a lot more moments like
that.
that.
We deserved way more moments from Matt just in general. I feel
Give
like.
this guy another season.
I know. Let's
do it.
deserves
I'm
it.
in.
He deserves it.